Um, One of my biggest takeaways from being in the UX class was it reinforced some of my thinking about design in general, and that it needed to come from a different place where you actually try to understand what you're designing for really intensely before you proceed with designing. And I always had that feeling, but hadn't had any class actually reinforce it or show me the proper way to do it. And going through this UX class helped me to develop the critical thinking tools I needed to refine that process and be confident in it. Working with the city was important to me because I live in the city, and it helped me to feel like I contribute to the place where I live. So it was rewarding in that sense, and it was also rewarding in the sense that it was a school project, but it actually had a real life impact. So it was an enjoyable experience to be involved in this project.
I think one of the best things I learned from working with the city is realizing that researching for finding solutions is really problem finding, because before you can solve a problem, you have to figure out the problems. And I think that it changes the way I approach all my projects now, because I have to really understand the entire context before I can start solving for it. And I think that this is one of the most valuable experiences that I ever had, because I was not able to work on a project, but I was able to apply it to a real world problem that really exists in where I live and where I go to school. So I think that was really cool.
So I was an industrial design student, in fact. I have 2 semesters or 2 years of it. But somewhere along the program, I kind of lost in touch with design. I lost my enthusiasm about it. And then I took a UX class. And slowly but surely, it was actually reignited my enthusiasm about design, especially when we collaborated with the city of Long Beach. And if there's one thing I got from it, it's the fact that we can use design to empower people and use design so that we can change not only designs of our own, but also how we can use that to enhance people's lives.
So I'm new to the discipline of design, but I've always had this way of thinking, and I've known that design thinking can be applied to things not traditionally design oriented. And when I came across this class, we had an opportunity to apply that thought process to a broader scale. And I never would have thought working with the city, like it wouldn't have been on the top of my mind of things to apply, but it turned out that the city was a perfect platform to work with. I was able to hone in on the skills that I needed to basically find frictions and what's going on with people and human-centered design within the city, and then apply those problems and see real results out of the design solutions that we created. And to see the results was pretty cool, to see social change happen because of a design thought that lots of work went into to create into reality. But it started with a thought and then came out with real physical results, which was pretty rad.
Okay, I came into user experience design from a graphic design background, and I always felt there was a little bit of a disconnect there. I was looking for something with a bit more research, something more weighty to base my design decisions on rather than just a concept I came up with, and user-focused design helped me find methodologies to decide upon that. Also, working with the city was a great experience. It showed me the potential of design thinking to solve larger problems rather than simply a package or a logo, and really affect the way that people go about their lives.